guys, what's up? I know it's been a minute. It's me, Brooke. So today I will be talking and giving you guys advice about how I passed slash how I survived medical surgical part 1. Take part 2 in the upcoming semester. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, so I'm going to give you some of my input and my advice of how I survived medical surgical part 1, and I finished that class with a pretty good grade. I was surprised, but I pushed through, got it done. So I'm gonna give you all some advice and tell you how I got through it. So that class was the hardest class for me that I've taken yet in nursing school. It was very hard for me. I spent a lot of time with it. I did study many different tools, used resources, and I think that's what helped me. And I kind of figured out for that class, I had to use many different resources. I had to put in a lot of time. And I think the key for surviving this class is you have to be disciplined. I put in a lot of time for this class, and that's what got me through. So be prepared. I guess depending on your teacher too, just be prepared to put in a lot of time for this class. Now, like I said, depending on your teacher, every class is different, every teacher is different. So I'm going to show or share with you the textbook I use and some of the resources. Okay, so let's see. The first book I'm going to show you that I used, because one of the units that we did was fluids and electrolytes, and that was like our first test. That was the killer for most of my class. I guess all of my class. That was hard for me. I mean, it's not really hard material. It's just it gets really confusing because it's so similar. Anyway, so I had to like break it down. It was a lot of information. So, anyways, I got this book from Amazon. It's called Fluids and Electrolytes Made Incredibly Easy. I got it on Amazon, and that book really helped me get through that first test, and it literally has everything that you need about it, and it's written by some nurses, so that helps because it gives you a nursing perspective, and it's big. It tells you about fluid imbalances. It tells you about electrolyte imbalances. It talks about acids and bases, and it literally breaks it down. Let me see. Let's see. Got potassium. It really breaks it down for you, and it'll give you side hints. It will tell you why potassium is important, and then when complications arise, it'll give you food about potassium and little side notes. See? It's really great, and I used this book and I kind of read it and just highlighted it and got bits and pieces that I need, and it's good. And like I said, it's good to use your resources. Yeah. And this book really helps me, and I literally read this and my book and kind of got me through it. And then our textbook for our class, I'll show you mine, but you guys might have a different textbook. That's fine. And this textbook is fat. Look at that. Anyways, this is the textbook we used for my medical surgical class. And I used this book to study for my tests, obviously. And what I did is I literally read for each chapter I literally read each chapter, literally. So what I have to do for nursing school, and especially for this class, it was different. I had to learn and teach myself pretty much everything. So what you need to realize is, for me personally, I take notes during class, but me trying to go on my own time, read the textbook, and look at other resources and try to make notes about every little thing and try to memorize things, write things down from me reading, that did not help me. That I just noticed that wasted my time, and that did not help me whatsoever. But I did take notes in class, but those are the only notes that I did take. I wasn't going to spend my time making charts and tables, organizing my thoughts and stuff. No, that did not help me at all. So what I would do is whatever chapter we were going, or obviously I would study days before the test. I would get our blueprint, see what chapters were going to be tested over, and I would literally read every page of that chapter. And me and my friend would get together and we would read by ourselves. And like every page or so often, we would stop, talk about it, break it down, ask questions, shared our thoughts. And I wouldn't read it fast. I'd read it nice and slow. And I would just think about it and just break it down and process the information. And you'll come to realize that when you study for these classes, especially for medical surgical, especially for that class, for me, it's more about understanding the material than memorizing. So as long as I understood the material, I felt great about it. And so I would just read it. Me and my friend would talk about it. Then in my book, we have little making connections. And so it would ask me a question, I would try to answer it, and then I'd tell you the right answer. And then I'd be like, okay, great, I got it right, or I got it wrong. Why did I get it wrong? And I'd think about it. And then for my book that I just showed you, it has a online thing, and so you can register for that and you log in, and it has review questions. So I do, after I read the chapter, I go to an online sign in and do my review questions. So yeah, so I read this book, and like I said, read page by page, use the online resources. And for fluids and electrolytes, I use this book. Really helped me, so I highly suggest that and highly recommend it. And let's see what else. Oh, another resource I used is YouTube. Let me tell you, YouTube really helped me. And I'm going to give you some good YouTube channels to check out for nursing school, or especially for a medical surgical class. So you need to check out Osmosis. They are great. They really break it down. They give good background information like anatomy, physiology, or just any good background information. And it's also good for the nursing perspective. And it tells you how everything works and disease processes. Definitely check them out. It's a good different perspective because it's kind of like fast paced and they throw things on the screen, and it really keeps your attention. And another YouTube channel that I really enjoyed is Sarah Registered Nurse RN.com. I think that's her name, but Sarah Registered Nurse. And she has a bunch of YouTube channels. Pretty much there's any disease and every disease you need to know for your classes. So definitely check her out. That really helped me. She broke it down in a complete nursing perspective. She would do assessments, the nursing process she completely broke that down for you. So check her out, and that helped me tremendously. And the last thing I did to study for my test were questions. So we have to do, for my nursing program, we have to do like NCLEX questions a certain amount every week. And I think ours is called, what is it called? I think it's called like the point, yeah, something like that. It's like the point, and it's NCLEX version questions. And what I would do, like the night before the test, I would do them. I would be studying, and I would take a break, and I answer 10 questions. You can study, take a break, answer 10 questions, and then I would do like 20 questions. I answered a bunch of questions because, like I said earlier, studying for these nursing tests isn't about memorization. It's about understanding the material. So these questions, I would do them, and at the end, I would see which ones I got wrong and right, and I would read the rationales and be like, okay, that makes sense. I understand that. So answer as many questions as possible. So like I said, this is what I do to study. I use any and every resource. This is what my studying usually consists of. I usually read the textbook, every chapter, talk it out with my friend, gather my thoughts, take my time reading the chapters, watch YouTube videos. YouTube videos help tremendously. And then I would answer a bunch of questions, NCLEX styled questions. And that helped me survive med-surg. That's literally what I did. And the key, like I said, the key is discipline. You got to put in work, and you got to put in a lot of time for this class. And I did those things, and I did pretty decent in the class. So this class was hardest for me so far, but if you put in the work and the time and the resources, you should be fine. So that's my little input about medical surgical. Hope that helps, give you some resources. Remember, always use your resources. Don't be afraid to try new resources because anything can help. So, yeah, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, BrookeThompson18, and I will see you guys later.